Hello and welcome to the next of these series of tutorials, and this one is all about special effects that are available in Illustrator, and there are quite a few. So I'm going to highlight some of the ones that you may feel work well with your lettering. I've borrowed Ted's title here, so apologies to Ted. I just thought it would work with the things that we're going to do. So I've started out with a fairly straightforward 20th century, I think is the name of the font, in bold in the center of the page. The blue line underneath it tells us this is editable text, so I could still edit it at this stage. And as with all of the other effects, the first step, once I'm happy with the layout of the letters, the next step is going to be to convert this to outlines. So right click on it and create outlines to give us our vector shapes. The next thing that I'm going to do, as with all the other examples that we've looked at, is to turn this into a compound path, which means that Illustrator will read it as though it was essentially as one thing. So I'm going to click like that. That will by default remove the colour. So I'm going to just go back. I was rather liking that pink. Maybe we have a sort of colour. There we are. So we've now got a vector object. In the layers panel, we can see it's a compound path, and we can start to do crazy things with it. So if I click on it to highlight it and go to the effect menu, there are a number of effects that you'll see there. Let's start with the ones that come under stylize. So in stylize, we can create an inner or an outer glow. So let's have a look at inner glow. If I choose inner glow, it will bring up this control panel, and by clicking on preview, I'll be able to see what this effect looks like if I applied it. So I can create a kind of inner glow. You can change the color of that glow, but I guess the glow would normally be white. Like that. We can, if we want to, make it a bit more subtle. So let's try 60%. And you can also change the distance in pixels from the edge. So by increasing the distance, the glow will be more centered towards the center of each letter. Like that. Turn that up slightly, I think, 75 maybe. Click on OK. So we now have lettering that looks as though it's glowing from the inside. Outer glow does the same, but in the opposite direction. So effect, stylize, and outer glow. And what you may want to do is make the glow the same color as the edge of the lettering. So if I was doing this properly, I would have looked at the color values that I had made the lettering itself, but I haven't. So I'm just guessing it was roughly there. And if I click on preview, you can see that it has given it a kind of an outer glow, almost as though this is an illuminated sign. Let's just make it spread a little bit further. And let's increase the opacity just to make it more pronounced. Click on OK. So now it almost looks like we're looking at an illuminated sign in the dark. You can see there's a nice pink glow around it. When you make changes to objects in this kind of way, it's a good idea for me to show you this tab down here, which is called Appearance. If I click on Appearance with an object selected, it will tell me all of the effects that I have applied to it. So you can see that this object here has an outer glow and an inner glow. And if I want, I can toggle those on and off. So I can revert this text back to its original form. That's a very handy thing to be aware of. Rather than messing around trying to undo things and save multiple copies, you can just simply turn off the effects that you've applied. I'm going to turn those off actually, just for the time being, so I can show you some other effects that we can access. Another thing that is very exciting is the ability to extrude objects and turn them into 3D shapes. So if I go to the 3D menu and then extrude and bevel, then I have the option of extrude just means make longer at the back, so extend in 3D, and I can decide on the angle of the object like this. The blue is indicating the side which the front of the letter's on. So if I was to do this, extend to maybe, I don't know, 100 points backwards. You can even tell it what kind of a surface you want, plastic shading or diffuse shading. And then you can click on preview and get a look at what it looks like. So that's the result that we get there. Possibilities are endless. That's very exciting, but I'm not gonna keep that. Another thing to tell you about is the warp options, which are also extremely exciting. So if you click on any of the warp options like this, then you have the ability to warp the text. So we can have an arc, we can have the text bulging in the middle, we can have something like a flag, so kind of lowering and then rising, and all of these can be changed. The parameters of all of these effects can be changed. We can inflate it as though it's been kind of swelled up from the middle. Maybe reduce that a little bit. We can give a kind of a fisheye effect. We can squeeze into the center like that. So again, you can warp your text if it suits your idea, and that is very exciting, is it not? It is. Effects can be used on top of each other. They can be combined. You can be selective. I would strongly advise you just to play with them and see what works for your idea. This is the last of the text effects video that I'll be telling you about, and the next video, the final video, will be about how to export your lettering, your ident, for use in various places, including your proposal and your coursework documents, but also, of course, in your advertising materials. Thanks for watching.